Melissa. Sorry it took me a few days to get to this. It's been a hectic week, but hopefully this will help catch you up. There is a lot to do, and I'm sorry it took so long for us to get connected. All right, so I'm recording this on an iPad, so things might look a little bit different. Okay, so as far as navigating around the blog to find assignments, so all of your assignments are on this main course blog, bccfood.edublogs.org, which you should have saved in your computer. You're in the Flex Start class, right? So here you are. So the key place you need to go to get assignments for your class is right at the top here underneath Flex Start A2W. Is this assignments? That has the assignments. If you click on there, now the most recent stuff is at the top. So you go down to the bottom here. I think you're in the middle of working on a draft of Essay 1, so that would be through these first 3 weeks here, or more than that. This week of February 1st was peer review, so at this point we're going to skip that and focus on the most important things you need to do to get to pass the class. So here's so Essay 1 still has some work to do on it. I'm sorry, I didn't notice that you'd done a second version of Essay 1. I can talk about that in a minute. I'll look at your blog. But so you're just going to work up here, and I'll just hit the high points. And I'll later today I'll send you an email that has a list of the different things that you need to do, and I'll prune it down a little bit to focus on the most important things in terms of a grade, which are really the 4 essays. So week of February. So this week, whatever, I don't know what number week it was, but the week in February 6th. They started the assignment for Essay 2. So these green letters here are hyperlinks that bring you to the assignment. The essay assignments are right over here on the right. But if you look at all the green is going to bring you there, so you don't have to search around finding them. So if you click here, Essay 2 assignment, here's the Essay 2 assignment. So for this assignment, you had to read one of these 2 articles and do a summary of the article and then a response to it. Certainly, read over the assignment, but another resource you have for these assignments is looking at what some of the other students have done in the class. Not that you're going to copy their work, but they'll give you an idea, and if you look at a range of them, you'll see, and you can see my comments, so you'll see who did the best job. So that's Essay 2. So it was a rough draft. You post the rough draft on your blog, you get some feedback from me, and then you do a final draft. The peer review part, it's going to be hard to catch up on any peer review. Maybe for the last essay you can get some peer review done. That's a relatively small part of your grade, though. Okay, so here we were doing preliminary work for Essay 2. This was a Google Doc that people were posting things on. It's a little bit complicated an assignment, so I think in the interest of time, you maybe want to skip that. You can, I would encourage you to look at it to get some... to see what they were doing. It was about summarizing and responding very short texts, doing a works cited, looking at how the different articles connected to each other, that sort of thing. But as I say, it's a somewhat complex assignment and probably not worth the time it's going to take you to figure out how to do it. These were peer review partners. And then Essay 3, people were working on the very end of March and the beginning of April. This is a research-based article. So again, annotated bibliography. It's an annotated bibliography and short report you can see over here. If you click here on the essay 3, you'll see that there are some student samples from a previous year, different topics, but same kind of assignment that you can look at. The idea was to pick a topic, to do some research, and to post an annotated bibliography, which is a list of sources with a short blurb about what the source is about, basically, and then to write a short report, 3 or 4 paragraphs, explanatory, informational, objective. You don't take a stance. It's not an argument. It's giving some information about what these things are, their advantages and disadvantages, or benefits and costs, describing them, looking at why people favor them or not. If you look at them as problems, what are some solutions that have been proposed? Those sorts of general questions. So that's essay 3, and that right now we're at the stage where the essay 3 rough draft should have come in, and the students were working on peer review for essay 3 this week, which, if I go back here, again, is this is peer review, and then starting on essay 4. So it's a lot of work, for sure. So you're going to have to think about what, do you have time in the next 3 weeks or so to devote to this? Read over the assignments. If you have specific questions about any of the assignments and want me to either do another one of these videos that's a little bit more in depth about a particular assignment, I can do that, or we can meet through Zoom to talk over some of these things. Let me know how, I don't know if there are any other issues you've had with besides finding assignments. If I look at, let's just look at your blog for a second. So you've got the TED Talk, so you've done the couple of these first few weeks, your Widger's autobiography, the response to Corn, tastes better on the honor system, and then a couple drafts here. The problem still, I looked over this new version of your draft, and you're still are kind of missing the point of focusing on food. I see that you've added some stuff at the end. You're talking about cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping. So we have some general kind of food. There's a possibility there to develop it. There's a possibility. So you're talking about freedom and being on how you need to learn to say no. So this is really not connected to a particular food item. So you're talking about a variety of food here, but it's very general. And then you mentioned something about a dessert, but again, it's not really the central focus of the essay. So what I suggest you do, you might want to look at some of these assignments. Let me just Cadence here did one on malasadas. You can see that she's got some memory. So the whole essay is focused on that particular food item, and she's talking about things about her family and what the significance of malasadas, and evoking some memories. But it's sort of anchored to that malasada. Cassie D, which is a pseudonym, has a really nice, let's make sure I haven't not mixing her up with, really nice one on meatballs, talking about memories of making meatballs with her mother. Very detailed, We feel as if we're right there with them in the a lot of sensory details, the pots and the, what's going into this, and then sitting down to eat. Eventually, her mother had some alcohol issues, and she talks about that. And these meatballs were a way for her to, when she would feel normal as a family. Kaya has one on oh no, she doesn't have it posted here. The final draft, I've got it. She did one on stuffed grape leaves. Um, who else had a good one? But feel free to browse around, and you can see how the students created an essay that focused on this food. Jaiko has a nice one on learning to cook. And talking about her mother, and then she got married and she couldn't really cook. She's trying to find something to cook, and she ends up on lasagna. So the essay becomes about her learning how to improvise, and as she says here in the title, cooking from the soul. So I think the one thing that the blogs can really do is give you some inspiration by being able to look at what other students had written, and of course there's some nice ones down here in my other class as well. You might browse around. I think Melba Toast has a nice one. There are a variety of pretty good ones there. Okay, so I hope that helps with Essay 1. Essay 2 focuses on the reading closely a text and condensing it, summarizing it, and then responding to it. You need to use a source, find a source of your own. And Essay 3 is research. If you haven't had much experience doing research writing, Essay 3 will be a real challenge, so I think we probably would need to meet to go over some of that. But anyway, send me an email after you look at this and see, and let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. All right, hope to talk to you soon.